Hey everyone, good day and wishing you a great week. So I am here at the Tzion, the resting place of Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai, who the Arizal revealed this area over here, where a little bit of history about Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai. He was one of the 5 students of Rabbi Akiva that after the passing of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, that by the way died because they didn't respect each other enough, it says that Rabbi Akiva started over, and he started with another 5 students, and of course one of them was Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and the other one is right in there, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai. We'll take a peek over there in a second, but I just wanted to mention the Arizal actually revealed this area, this Tzion, this resting place of Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai, as well as the resting place above there, which is Rabbi Kuspedai, and a number of other ones that are around over here in the north. And speaking about the Arizal, of course, the Arizal, his yortzeit, his day of passing, is on Tuesday. So that's a tremendously significant day. And like we spoke about last time, Rabbi Akiva essentially said that he made it such a prerequisite for his teachings and for his students to all be connected and to all have this sense of brotherly love as a prerequisite for his teachings. And so we explained that a little bit, talking about the theme of Rabbi Akiva. So it's maybe a little bit of a coincidence, maybe not, that we're here by one of the students of Rabbi Akiva, that he said love your neighbor or love your friend, or we said it's really not so much even the friend, it's the other as yourself. So if you remember last time, we explained that it has to do with really metamorphosizing, coming out of our limitation where we think about ourselves. And he says, Rabbi Akiva, this is the whole Torah. What does that mean? It's the whole Torah. So the whole Torah is all about that connection, that heightened connection of the soul that the soul has with the Creator. And in order to come out of our limitations, we have this litmus test, and that is people. The people that are in our lives, people that are placed in our lives, whether we like them or not, whether they are, our first choice or not, tough luck, they're in our lives. And we have a choice of either to deal with it in one way or the other way. Now, when we practice compassion, when we practice the love, so then what that does is it really changes us from thinking about ourselves to thinking about the other. And eventually, we spoke about the 3 stages. So there's the first stage, which is a selfish stage, tinok, baby, which is all about the self. Second stage is about tikkun, same letters again, and it's about fixing, realizing that I have to take and I have to give, and it's a balance. Last stage is nituk, which is letting go and not really caring about what someone thinks, or not even caring if the person was nice to me or not. And that's the highest stage. That's being on the godlike level, on a very high spiritual level. And so that's a process, getting to that place. So last time, if you remember, our challenge to you was to find, and I know people got a little bit nervous by the word challenge, but I think challenge is a good thing, because challenge actually causes us to improve and to be a little bit better. And so my challenge was back then to dig up a couple of letters of people that said nice things about you, people that were thankful for something that you did. And I spoke about how thank you, Menachem. Love you too, brother. So I said that, as a teacher, I very often don't keep the letters that people write to me because of my own thing. But there's so many different letters that people have written to me, throughout this teaching career that I'm on. And I choose very often to look into, this went like this, or this person was like that, and just that's our human makeup, and we just focus on the negativity. So my challenge was to dig up, rehash some of those positive letters and to kind of like bring them to the forefront, because if we want to have compassion for the other, we have to realize that we make a difference and that we actually mean something to someone else. So find those letters, or you should have found those letters. So I just want to share a couple of letters that I received just this week, and very, very touching. And the first one was somebody said that he was listening to one of my classes with his good friend, that he was with him on his deathbed, and he was listening to one of my classes. This goes back to 2014, and he said that this lesson meant so much to both of them, and actually that person, it accompanied that person up to the higher worlds. He actually passed on. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I'm speechless. I have no idea what to say. So that was the first thing. And the second thing was somebody sent me a letter right after I sent an email, said that from Live Kabbalah, from my site. And she said, wow, this is exactly the answer I was asking God for. And just that moment, you sent me an email to a number of links of classes that was my answer from God. And so I'm extremely humbled by that, realizing that I'm just a conduit for helping other people. And that, of course, really empowers me, and so too it should empower all of us when we find those positive messages. Now, this week's challenge is for us to write one of those messages to someone else. There's so many good people in our lives, so many people that have changed us, that have helped us. Now, do we take the time to even acknowledge them, to recognize them for what they've done? And there's so many people around that we could say, wow, I'm a different person because of this person. And so taking the time to just acknowledge that really makes a difference, to that person. It will make their day, absolutely. But the second thing, it makes us more of a compassionate type of a person. And that's what we're aiming for with loving the other as we love ourselves. We have to practice that level of compassion for the other. And so that's the challenge of this week, to kind of find 3 people in your life that you could just write them a short memo. It could be something like, hey, in 4th grade, you were my favorite gym teacher. You told me I was great at tennis, whatever. There's so many things that we could be thankful for. So just find those things. It's really not that difficult to be compassionate, to want to show that towards the other. So anyways, now I want to show you around a little bit over here. We are in Ein Zeitim, again, resting place of Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai. This is Tzfat, exactly. The Arizal said it's the marker of 2,000 Amma. That's a measurement of Shabbat that we know the distance of Shabbat by that. And that's Ein Zeitim over here. Tons of olive groves, gorgeous, awesome place. And inside is the resting place. It's actually a cave of Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai, who's called the head of the speakers. He was the main kind of speaker of that assembly of those 5 students. And the Arizal says about him in a very connected note over here that he is an embodiment of the sphere of Malchut, and he is very much connected to the sphere of Malchut. And he has over here, the Arizal has meditations about what one should think when he comes to this place, thinking about the sphere of Malchut. And by the way, sphere of Malchut also has to do with speech and how we use our speech. So that very much connects to how we compliment someone, what we say to others is speech. So let's have a look inside, and of course feel free to join us in prayer over here for essentially for our rebuilding of our Jerusalem, of our inner interconnection, that we could work on more of a mindful space between each other, bringing together opposites. So let's go inside and throw in our prayers. All right, that's all, folks, for today, and sending out a lot of blessings and wishing everyone a great week, and ultimately may we improve on our communication. And just by the way, next week there's going to be a special Facebook Live where I am going to be interviewing Chaim Chlorofine, who made a model of the third temple, and we're going to go to his place. Next week is a fast day, and we're going to see his model of the third temple. It should be awesome. So look forward to that, and I'll send out a short note before when that is happening. So many blessings and peace and love. All the best, my friends.